Hello, guys. Welcome back to another mock draft review. Today we'll be reviewing another mock draft. I thought I'd review Daniel Jeremiah's 2.0. I hadn't do his 1.0, but now that his 2.0 is out, I thought I would give it a look see, and I might do some of these other guys here too later down the line. But in terms of right now, I'll do Daniel Jeremiah's. Let's go with the first overall pick, being Fernando Mendoza. Another easy, really pick. Big frame, good guy. Great leadership. You're taking for his intangibles. You're taking for basically everything. And I think, he'll fit in Kubiak's scheme. Really like this pick. I can see this definitely happening. And it's really like the surefire pick. Like, there's no real easy. There's no really easy as like this is as easy as it gets, right? But in terms of like now, they have to put this team together now with Kubiak now finally here. So let's just take their guy. And they take their guy, and I think he can definitely step in and be a good above average quarterback. I can definitely see that him like not tearing it up, but like really setting the tone for this team and building off of it. I can 100% see that. So we're gonna go Fernando Mendoza here, and we are going to move on to the next pick. The Jets take David Bailey. This is interesting because I want to see his thoughts on David Bailey. He's probably pretty high on David Bailey, hence why he's taking him number 2. I think that I would prefer Reese here because there's more upside and there's a little more off-ball area with all that scheme. And I know David Bailey isn't really a renowned or refined 3-down rusher right now. You can obviously develop into that. I think he definitely has the capabilities of doing that. But in terms of like actual like readiness for the NFL right now, there's a little interesting development that needs to be there. But he was really explosive, like he says, really explosive off the edge when it was coming to pass pro. So maybe not the worst idea to him here. But Aaron Glenn will probably get his number 1 guy there. So it's not the worst pick in the world. The Cardinals take Francis Mauigoa. This is another easy pick. They need right tackle. Mauigoa has good speed and size. I really like this pick. We've seen tackles go really high before. You've seen Andrew Thomas. All these other guys go really high. And tackles are the most sought after position. And Mauigoa is pretty big. You can just probably see him, and you need your 2 bookend tackles, and Paris Johnson Jr. if you want to keep him for the long term. I think you should, and then obviously Francis Mauigoa. And this team can honestly really like just help this quarterback come in later, and eventually help the scheme. This is just another easy pick and another good pick. You can also see Fano going here, but I think I like Mauigoa a little more in terms of actual prospects because I think I like Fano a little more for inside guard. You can probably play Mauigoa in tackle too or guard. I mean, those two are very flexible, but Mauigoa showed some good explosiveness, some good downhill ability. You can really play anywhere, wherever the Cardinals would need him. In this case, it would be a tackle. The Titans select Ruben Bain Jr. So this case probably our Reese would probably be 7. But Bain is honestly a really good pick too to complement again Jeffrey Simmons, like he says. And now that they are similar in terms of honestly, I think Bain is my number 1 true edge in this class. In terms of like my first defensive player off the board, obviously, will probably be Reese for me because Reese will probably fit and plug into that Jets style defense the best because of that 3-4 and that ability to play that linebacker spot to get pressure on the quarterback, but also playing off ball sometimes, which he did in college. So that really works best for Bain, for Reese. But for Bain, he is obviously more of a pure edge, and he's probably the best 3-down lineman in this draft. In terms of like actual upside, I think Reese has a little bit more. Maybe you can say David Bailey, but Ruben Bain will probably step in and be the best edge coming off immediately, right? But Bain has the great run, explosiveness, violence, and just getting to the ball in production. That's really good. There's a problem with his measurables in those arms. Sometimes those make prospects fall. So you definitely see Bain dropping to 7, maybe even 12. But in terms of actual production, he's been phenomenal, and that run really proved it. Him and Messidor really rose their stock. I know Bain was already getting first round top 10 buzz, but really there was concerns, right? I think that kind of crushed it a little bit. I know there's still concerns. Obviously, they're justified concerns, but these concerns, maybe they'll die. Maybe they'll die with the production, and production is undeniable. He still produced. He might have struggles with these bigger, longer arm guys in the NFL, but you really can't test that out until you actually take a chance on him. And I think the Titans wouldn't make a mistake on doing this. So I think they should definitely take Ruben Bain here. If Reese is gone, but Bailey's here, so maybe I would go Reese here, but it's being here is a great pick. The Giants take Carnell Tate. I also like this too. You don't really want the injury-prone receiver in Jordan Tyson. I've been trying to stray away from that because with Malik Neighbors, who is projected to come maybe week 1 through 4, he might start off the year on the PUP list, so maybe 5. So there's problems with that, but you don't want to take that chance with that MetLife turf too, because you've seen that with OBJ, you've seen that with Saquon Barkley. Well, Saquon Barkley didn't really tear his ACL; he tore his ACL in Soldier Field, but still, you've seen that with Saquon Barkley, with sometimes having that injury bug sometimes, and just how this team is the turf, Aaron Rodgers, all that shit is turf matters, guys. All this shit really adds up, and now that he's there, I don't think Jordan Tyson is the right play. But in terms of like actual production, he's probably the best pick. The Giants can also go Mekhi Lemon if you let Wanda Robinson walk, which as I'm looking more into it, I think that's going to happen because he's going to want so much money, and the Giants don't have that type of space. Even with all the structures, even with all the cuts, they'll probably have $70 million. I don't think they want to pay $18 million for a shorter slot guy, right? Then you don't really see that happening often, and they're probably end up taking someone like Alec Pierce or taking someone like Carlton Tate in the scenario who will really elevate this offense because he's such a home run hitter, but he's so physical and he's so good at route running. He can get separation, which really gives a nice cleanse to Malik Neighbors, who obviously Malik Neighbors is going to be Malik Neighbors, right? You got to wide receiver 1, Carlton Tate being a wide receiver number 2, but there's been production in Ohio State. He's played along generational wide receiver Jerimiah Smith. He's also played along Egbuka last year. So there's a lot of upside in terms of what he can actually be. Maybe he'll be really good. And he isn't the cleanest in terms of injury history, but it's not Jordan Tyson where it's really bad. So you really take him for his size, his ability to get downfield, and his ability to hit home runs like he did in some of these other games. The Browns, they have taken Spencer Fano. And this is another easy pick. If it's not Fano, it's Maui Noah, and if it's not Maui Noah, it's Fano, right? All of their tackles are gone. I mean, if you look at their offensive line, I'm pretty sure all of these guys, because Wyatt Teller just announced that he's heading to free agency, right? Cam Robinson is a free agent, Joel Bitonio is a free agent, Wyatt Teller is a free agent, Pokic is a free agent, Jack Conklin's a free agent. I think all of them are, right? And you're gonna need someone. You're probably gonna re-sign somebody, but Wyatt Teller just to confirm that he is not returning back to Cleveland. So you're gonna need a replacement at guard and a really all-pro type of guy. And you're going to need a replacement there. So taking Fano here, who probably has flexibility to play into guard or maybe even a swing tackle too, if needed, if there's injuries. He's obviously going to be on the field every single time. But if you have an injury at tackle, you can maybe move to tackle, or you can just keep him on tackle and move him to guard sometimes if you need to. There's flexibility there. So taking him for his flexibility and just see how you do it in free agency and see how all this works with Todd Monken. And I'm sure Todd Monken would want a great offensive line. Maybe he brings in Linderbaum and Fano in this case would play tackle. There's a lot of turning wheels, but you can definitely take Fano here. I wouldn't mind that pick at all. The Commanders take Arbor Reese. Obviously, this is another easy pick. Again, you're taking him for his upside too. He can play off the ball inside. You really didn't see that many mishaps other than the Miami game, which is, you could say, for 95% of that team, except maybe Jeremiah Smith. That entire game had a gigantic bad juju on them, but other than that, they really played lights out all season. And really against some of these better teams like Indiana and stuff, I wasn't really concerned that much. Arbor again has really good violence, speed, really good off the ball linebacker too. He hasn't played a full year at edge like someone like Abdul Carter has, or even Marco Parsons, where he just played full time off the edge. So there's concerns with that, but I think if you develop him in a Dan Quinn style defense, who has ties with defensive lines and just how to just figure it out, he'll probably perfectly fine. Honestly, in my opinion, this is probably the best landing spot for Arbor Reese. If he lands in Washington, which is an older team, right? But you have Jay Daniels, and I know some of these guys are hitting free agency, but maybe you make another push. I don't know. It's an old team, but maybe you make another push, and Arbor Reese develops into being a monster. So there's always that factor. So we can go there. The Saints take Mekhi Lemon. I agree with this. Actually, I don't hate this. The Saints really need a wide receiver, consistent wide receiver without any injury history. So that's why they wouldn't take Tyson in this scenario, because Olave is very injury prone. So maybe you're taking Mekhi Lemon for his consistency too, not only on the field but off the field too, because he's just always available, right? So he's not a real troublemaker in the locker room either. He's just a regular guy, right? He's good at football, and he's a regular guy. He's just there to play football, and you want that out of a guy, right? So his skills are really good too. So good at the catch point, so good at running around, so good at finding. Just for his size, he's just so good at what he does, right? I think he has one of the best catch points in this draft at 5'10". It's crazy. This guy's like an inch, same height as me. He's literally the same height as me, and he's just so good at what he does, and you just don't see that for someone this size. That's why he's going so high. That's why you see someone like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's so good at what he does at his size. You just can't describe it, and it's so good. And I think Mekhi Lemmon could be the next Amon-Ra St. Brown, maybe even better. I think he can be even better. He's my wide receiver one in this class, in my opinion. People find that crazy. I don't really, because I think he's just so good. He's so good at everything he does, and the only reason why you're not taking him is because of size. And I think size doesn't really matter, but in many ways in life. But in this case, it doesn't matter either. So size doesn't matter. That's what I take away from this pick. The Chiefs take Jerimiah Love, another great pick. Jerimiah Love will be an instant starter, an instant playmaker on this team. You really need a running back, right? Mahomes needs to get some sort of relief off of his ACL, and obviously Mahomes is getting older too, so you want that. You want him to stay in his best shape as possible. He's not like he's 25 anymore, where he can immediately bounce back, right? It's different for someone like who tore his ACL? Malik Neighbors, who's an old under 25 guy, right? He's still probably going to come back and produce, right? These type of guys who tear their ACL at a really young age really come back and produce. So like Mahomes, you want to kind of watch out too, because that's your franchise guy, that's your franchise legend, that's your guy, right? When you think of the Chiefs, you think of Mahomes and Kelsey. Mahomes, you want to protect him, and you want to keep him there. I can definitely see them going tackle here, but there's really no tackle they can take here. Fano fell probably, but Jeremiah Love, for the value, is so good. He'll is so good at the receiving point, and so good running back too. So he'll really be explosive. And I think Andy Reid and Bieniemy will have a field day with this guy. The Bengals take Caleb Downs. I'm actually loving this mock draft so far. First time picks have been elite, really good picks. The Bengals take Caleb Downs. Cincinnati needs a safety. The free agencies in that secondary, which just wasn't good, and tackling wasn't good. Taking Downs here will provide immediate juice off tackling and just in the locker room too, because Caleb Downs is known to be a leader in the locker room as well. So taking Caleb Downs here, you've seen some of these guys fall. Caleb Downs, I think, has the best potential in this class. Well, not potential, but the best production in this class. He's my number one guy on my board right now in terms of like actual production. The problem is I've seen arguments about saying like how much more room for growth is there for Caleb Downs, right? He's already playing at an all-pro level safety level in college, right? Is there going to be a stunt in his growth, or is he just going to plateau? It's like, how much like better can you get, right? And I can agree with that to an extent, but I won't point you to as an all-pro safety or a Pro Bowl caliber safety is a Pro Bowl caliber safety, right? His floor is so low. That's what some of these guys in these classes, like, their floor is so low. It's like Vega Ione has such a low floor because he never really gave up pressures in college, and I think he'll be so good in the NFL. And even if he isn't the greatest, he has such a low floor where I could think he can be a regular starter just anywhere, right? Maybe not elite, but maybe just a regular average starter. Same with Caleb Downs. I think he'll be a Pro Bowl caliber safety every single year he's in the league. Like, I think he will probably be in a Pro Bowl or get Pro Bowl consideration, defensive rookie of the year consideration as a rookie. And why would you concern yourself about the plateau, right? But it's still a great pick regardless. I'm just saying, like, the people saying that like Caleb Downs doesn't have much room for growth, you can maybe be correct. I think you're wrong, but I can definitely see your viewpoint. But why don't you take the All-Pro Pro Bowl type of guy, right, when he's available, and you need tacklings, and this defense is bad. So I think this is definitely the right pick. The Cowboys, the Dolphins take Delane. I think this is 100%. He's my corner one in terms of like what I've seen in consistency. Consistency as in being like actually playing this year. I know Jamal McCoy was really good in 2024, but you haven't seen him in over a year. So do you want to take a chance on him, or just take Delane, who has produced? Delane obviously produced in Virginia Tech. He produced in LSU. Measurables are a little bit of a concern, but in terms of like actual ball skills and actual press coverage and footwork and everything that just a corner needs is really good. It's just his measurables, but I don't think that'll drop him too far. And Miami needs a great needs a great corner in there, and with these guys hitting free agency, even if they weren't, right, I still would see a possible upgrade. And now that this team is turning a new leaf with probably Tua's done for sure. I don't know what they're gonna do with him. Trade him, cut him, he's done, right? Hill and Chubb both cut. it's a new stone that's being turned. I think Mansur Lane can help rebuild this team into being what they once were thought to be, which was Super Bowl contender with Hill and Waddle and Tua when they were like messing it up all the time. Not messing it up, but like messing up the league at one time, right? 2023, those were the days for Dolphins fans. But you got to hope to rebuild now. And maybe Quinn Ewers is your guy, but Jeff Hafley is definitely gonna get himself a toy, and hopefully get himself another little toy you can use. Another great secondary safety corner you can use. He had X in Green Bay. Now he probably gets his number one guy, Mansour, here. The Cowboys take Jamal McCoy. I think I can see Jamal McCoy falling a little bit, but definitely the Cowboys need a corner. With Diggs gone, they definitely need to fix their secondary as well. Bland cannot be a cornerback one. You need Jamal McCoy to step in and be that guy. The problem is with this injury, are you sure he can do that? Maybe Bland can be the cornerback one for a little bit, but Jamal McCoy, you're going to see how he tests. So there's a lot of intriguing moving parts there, but Jamal McCoy, when he was sample size when he was on the field, was pretty good, but apparently there's a lot of moving parts behind that, so let's wait on that. I can definitely see him dropping, though. The Rams take Emmanuel McNeil-Warren. I think this is a little too big or too high of a pick for Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, but he's really good. I think he definitely can be like, I've seen people say he's a poor man's Nick Eman-Wari. I can see that too, but I think he's more of a thumper and a range guy too. He can hit. He has a nose for the ball. He's aggressive. He's kind of like the safety of Avon Terrell, who has just a nose for the ball, who can hit. And you've seen like how he plays. But I think you can maybe get him at 29 if the Bills don't take him. But, this is definitely a good pick. You can definitely take safety. I can definitely see McNeil-Warren here. So, I like the pick. The Ravens take Jordan Tyson. Like in this mock draft so far, Jordan Tyson would definitely be a good contrast to Zay Flowers. And I know people have said Jesse Minter might take a defensive guy. I definitely think so, too. I think they might go Peter Woods or Caleb Banks or even Lee Hunter. But in terms of production and maybe upside, you go Jordan Tyson. I know all those guys I just mentioned have hella upside as well, but in terms of actual explosiveness for Lamar Jackson, who needs a real guy other than Zay Flowers, and Zay Flowers really got in a pity party of a Pro Bowl. He got in somehow. I don't understand, but you might need the number one guy, and Lamar Jackson hasn't really had that like big, tall, athletic guy, right? He's had these small guys like Bateman, and there's the guy in the Bears. He just left for the Bears. Can't remember his name, but and then you've obviously had Zay Flowers too. So like those small nimble guys, they try to sign DeAndre Hopkins. That didn't really work out so well because it's DeAndre Hopkins. He's not in his prime anymore, so it's not gonna really work out so well. So I think Jordan Tyson will get you that number one wide receiver guy for at least a minute. And even with the injury concerns, the production is the production. If he's there 75% of the time and he's ripping it up 75% of the time, playing like an all-pro receiver, no one's gonna worry about these injuries. Obviously, there is gonna be injuries, but maybe these injury-prone guys don't really be that injured in the NFL. Like you've seen that in multiple scenarios, so maybe not. The Bucs take Sonny Styles. Honestly, perfect, really perfect. So good. He's probably like top 5 of my mental big board. But Sonny Styles has been playing so well. He doesn't miss tackles. Obviously his run stopping so much good, but I think there's definitely so much more upside with his pass, his in space pass coverage too. He's so good sideline to sideline. He can really just gravitate anywhere. The only reason why he falls so far is because his position, a linebacker. You don't usually see linebackers go this far, but I can definitely see him going 5, 7, 12. I can see him go many areas. You can also see him maybe go 13 too, but the Bucs find a way to get him. I would love him to go to Tampa Bay, and you need Lavonte David too to help out to get it. The Jets go Vega Ione, or Vega Ione. So AVT is hitting free agency, and John Simpson is also hitting free agency. So Vega Ione has one of the lowest floors. Only 5 pressures allowed in 2025. Really good, no sacks obviously, and he's just played really good. His lowest floor. I just think you gotta take the guy here. I don't hate this pick at all. As long as you invest in that O-line, you have your 2 bookend tackles in Fashanu and Membu. Membu was a great pick, by the way. He was. I think he definitely should have been nominated for Protector of the Year or even Rookie of the Year. I know they don't get consideration, but I think he should definitely have gotten a shot or something. But I don't think they're gonna. Like I said, I don't think Ty Simpson goes at 16. I just don't. I would really dislike that for the Jets. That's just gonna be the Jets doing Jets things. But the Jets would obviously take Vega here. in the scenario. So don't hate the pick. Jeremiah has been pretty good. The Lions take T.J. Parker out of Clemson. I'm also pretty high on T.J. Parker as well. I would have liked Monroe Freeling too. I think I would prefer tackle here. Probably get a later edge because this edge class is so deep. In this tackle class, the drop off is pretty big. So maybe you take tackle here, Monroe Freeling, or who else is available? Caleb Lomu. I don't think he can be a real tackle. I think he's more of a guard for me, or even Caden Proctor's more of a guard for me. But maybe you take Monroe Freeling. I think he fits so well with the Lions. But T.J. Parker is not a bad pick either because he's so speedy. I think he can definitely be a 3-down lineman. I know people aren't as high as him as I am, but I think he definitely showed some good things in the Senior Bowl, and there's productions in the Senior Bowl. And sometimes in the Senior Bowl, if you produce, you end up producing pretty well in the NFL too. So it's not all the time, but sometimes you do. And I think I'm willing to take that bet. So if the Lions get their hands on get their hands on T.J. Parker, wouldn't hate it. The Vikings take Dylan Thiemann out of Oregon. Definitely another guy too that I can see definitely going at 18. They need secondary. Harrison Smith's not getting older, and this honestly seems like a really good replacement for Harrison Smith. Thiemann or knwo. This safety class is honestly sneaky good. I can definitely see them being day one type of guys where they come out day one, right? But in terms of like actual safety drop off, there's not crazy drop off. Other than downs, there's McNeil and Dylan Thiemann. You see who you like more, right? But he's really good, and I think he can really be a great guy for this youth that they need. The Panthers take Keldrick Folk. No, sorry, I just spoiled it for you guys. The Panthers take Keldrick Folk. I like that too. You need a high floor run stopping guy too. Love that, but I would like definitely would like a little more pass rushing upside too. But yeah, the Keldrick Folk's a good pick here. I not too much to say about this. I realize a little bit on athleticism too much for me, but I definitely think he's a top 40 type of guy on me. The Cowboys take Akeem Mesidor. Like this too. I would probably say this is probably instant production and instant just whatever, because Mesidor is already 25. He's going to be entering his prime in his second year in his rookie contract, so that'll be an interesting way to see how Dallas decides to treat that. But he will be 30, so the only reason why he isn't getting number 10 inside the top 10 is because he's 30, or he's going to be 30 when his thing is done. But he was really good and really good in the college football run. So I like this deal for the Cowboys. The Steelers take Denzel Boston. Like this too. There's more of a historical gravitational pull towards the Steelers. They usually take these bigger body type of guys, and someone like George Pickens, DK Metcalf, obviously in recent years, and Hines Ward too. All these bigger guys who just are really good at route running separation sometimes, and also really good at the catch point. Those guys I all just mentioned are really good at the catch point. So I really like this pick here for the Steelers, and get another wide receiver threat, because it was not looking good when Metcalf was out. Sadiq goes to the Chargers. I would honestly not prefer this. I would honestly I would like to develop more of the offensive line too. I know the line hasn't gone so well, but I would love Lomu here. I love Pregnon here. I think that's just so much a better pick than Sadiq here. Sadiq seems a little bit of an impulsive pick, especially with Harbaugh and seeing how bad his offensive line is and how much he loves his offensive line. I would immediately choose Caleb Lomu, because he can swing out to tackle if you need him to, or kick him into guard when Slater is here. But when Slater gets injured, or when he might get injured, you don't know, right? Because he's been injured his entire career. It seems like you don't really know. So Lomu would be honestly the perfect pick, because he gets slot out. But I have Lomu more as a guard type of prospect, but he can definitely play on the outside if he needs. It's just offensive line is just a bigger need here than getting Sadiq. It's just more of a luxury pick for a team that needs it. The Eagles take Blake Miller. He's definitely getting first round buzz too. Lane Johnson did return. He did announce yesterday or today. But the Eagles have a good history of developing offensive tackles. I don't hate this. I think it's a little early for Blake Miller. I think Monroe Freeling would have fit perfectly better if you want an offensive tackle to slot in. But Blake Miller and Monroe Freeling are both offensive tackles and really have no wiggle room to slot into guard. So maybe you take a guy like Lomu or Proctor, who can maybe slot into that guard scenario and be a swing tackle if needed, especially with how well the Eagles produce their offensive linemen. So maybe not Miller here, but it's fine. I would prefer Monroe Freeling though, but it's not a terrible pick. The Browns take Marlon Feeling. He finally goes. I think I'm really high on Marlon Feeling. So the Browns take both tackles. So, so they take Spencer Fano and that. Honestly, I don't hate that idea either because I can definitely see the Browns taking both tackles here because the wide receiver class is very deep. You can probably get someone like an Omar Cooper Jr., Malachi Fields, or even Casey Conception if he falls, because I think he falls in this mock draft. Would be a great pick. Maybe not Casey Conception, but some of these other wide receivers guys in the second round would be amazing. And honestly, that Jacksonville Jaguar trade for Travis Hunter was honestly turned out to be really good because you get your 2 tackles and a wide receiver in the second round. Would not even be a bad scenario. So don't hate this pick either. The Bears take Peter Woods. He finally falls. Peter Woods is honestly falling a lot to this 25 range. I had him mocked 25 on Wednesday. Agreed. I'm not the biggest fan of how far he's falling. I think he definitely go 14, especially with Winter. But he falls to 25 today. I think he definitely has the potential to play like a top 10 player in this class. I think once he actually starts playing, he probably will be. But the production this year, obviously, he's dropped a little bit. He was projected to be a top 5 pick this year, but preseason, but really it didn't really work out in Clemson that well. So he ends up falling, and if the Bears find a way to get a high upside guy with great run stopping and great upside as a pass stopper, would be amazing pick for them. The Bills take Malachi Fields. I would love this too. I think Malachi Fields is more of a day 2 type of guy pick though. I would love this if this is the second round pick. The Bills could probably get someone else like another corner or an edge here. Not a huge fan of Malachi Fields here because I think he won't really be a day 2, or he'll be a day 2 guy, round 2, round 3 type of guy, unless he really blows it out of the park in some of these interview process or even the combine. If he runs like really fast or whatever, just really great in the combine by doing insert X, right? But he can definitely go to the Bills. I just don't think this is a little bit of a reach, and I would love maybe not a tackle, not on his line, but like someone who can get reliable pressure, or even a linebacker. I would like a better, more reliable linebacker, and Joey Bosa was not a great sign this year, so I think I would like a better edge here. The 49ers take Lee Hunter. I don't hate this either. It's another Senior Bowl guy who really rose. I think he's probably the biggest Senior Bowl riser I've seen. Hunter joins 2025 draft picks, Alfred Collins and Cedar West from a talented young trio. I would honestly, I don't hate this. They need run stopping, but I would like Casey Conceptions on the board, so I would like taking him. Even the Bills could have taken Casey Conceptions instead of Malachi Fields. But I would have liked wide receiver a little more. It's a little more reliable, and I think now that Juwan Jennings and Brandon Ayuk are probably done in 49er uniforms, you would want to show more youth, and especially with how bad that trio was, you're probably like a little more. But it's not the worst pick in the world. Texans take Caleb Lomu. Like this too. Big fan of this. He can slot into tackle if someone gets injured, or he can go into guard if just regular season. It was a really bad guard showing for the Texans, so don't hate this pick at all. The Rams take Colton Hood. Like this pick too. Really high upside. He really fell in the Senior Bowl, but he's really young and you can really develop him. He doesn't have explode away running from the cop speed like some of these other guys say, but he does have really good tackling skills sometimes at the start of the game, and he's really good at coverage and just good at his footwork and his hands, so like that. But physicals are to be desired, and maybe he gets a little less physical as the game goes on, but I think that definitely you can develop him into a lockdown corner. CJ Allen going to the Broncos. I don't hate this pick either. I think CJ Allen's more of a day 2 type of guy for me. I think he's an early day 2 type of guy. But he definitely can be good. He's really good, reliable as a run stopper. But in terms of pass blocking or pass stopping and pass coverage, it gets a little concerning because he can't really slot into these running back type of guys sometimes. So there's problems. But Alex Singleton is hitting free agency, so maybe take a chance on CJ Allen here. The Patriots take Zion Young. Definitely a big need for the Patriots, which is an edge. Maybe go guard here too. Pregnant's available. I would love Pregnant, even though Vrabel said Campbell would stay on tackle, so maybe you go Pregnant here for guard. But Zion Young isn't the worst selection here. He definitely had a real drop off sometimes because of his DUI. But in terms of production, he was pretty good, and he really looked good. So another pretty big Senior Bowl riser. It wasn't crazy big, but it was pretty good. Seahawks take his exception. I like this pick too. This is obviously in the scenario where Shaheed walks. With Terrell available, I would put that into concern, but you're going to see how your free agency shapes up. If Woolen and Job and Bryant all leave, I can obviously see them going McNeil, Warren, and Thiemann if they're available. In this case, they aren't. So obviously that's probably not it. But in terms of if you let Shaheed walk, which I would imagine you wouldn't, you can definitely get conception here and be kind of like a Rashid Shaheed guy who returns punts and just another field stretcher you can run by the defense. So don't hate this pick either. That's it. Thank you guys all for watching. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts on this mock draft and just my opinions. Let me know what you guys think, and see you guys in the next one.